Hello guys and girls, this is the second video about sculpting wargame miniature of medieval knight. I'm Brother Vinni, my occupation is making and selling wargame miniatures. If you like videos about sculpting, casting, molding, assembling and painting miniatures, you are on the right place. Subscribe to our channel and our newsletter, you can find links below the video. So this is the continuation. You can find the first part of this video by the link in description. I remind that now I'm making 28mm miniatures, and this is a 12th century knight. This is the first figure of set of 4. It's a set of wargame miniatures that are suitable for playing any historical or fantasy tabletop wargames, for example like Saga Age of Crusades. Actually, at this moment, that 4 guys already was released, and you can find them in the showcase of our web store. You can check the link below. Last time we have almost completed the basic body. It was a very important part because I've been making the pose, proportions and setting up the wire skeleton. You should understand that pose and proportions is such a base of any sculpture, of any figure, of any miniature. So if you're interested in, you don't skip the previous part of this video. Today I'm going to sculpt helmet and clothes. Both things are very characteristic for that period. The clothes is something between cape and greatcoat. It's called surcoat. It appears in the 12th century. It's a kind of clothes that was weared over the armor. The helmet also is very interesting. It's that kind of metal cap with mask that later will grow to the famous top helm. All this should turn our mannequin to the character, more or less. In the next video, I will complete the miniature with sword, shield and arms, and also I will show you how I try to paint my miniatures. By the way, right now, at this moment, this knight was painted at least 2 times. One time by me, and one time by another professional miniature painter. You can see it here and find more pictures in our social networks like Instagram by the link below. By the way, if you personally already have bought and paid some of our miniatures, please send us the pictures. We are always happy to see how you interpret our miniatures, which color scheme you use, and in which battles and dioramas you use our miniatures. So, enough talking, let's take a piece of clay and set it alive. Okay, let's start making the helmet. I will do it the same way I do everything. First I make some kind of base, then bake it, and then sculpt the part by itself over the baked base. Our helmet is made of 2 parts. It's a cap and a face mask. First I will make the cap. It's very easy, it has almost a cylindrical shape. But after sculpting I have realized that I don't like the top of the cap and I want to see it more or less flat. For this I will use my usual drilling machine called Proxon, and I just grind it out. And also I will add some bevels. This helmet has more or less a geometrical shape. My next step is making that metal ribbon on the edge of this cap, and I want it will be very thin, because I don't like when small details on the miniature looks very rogue. So I should control it, and also I like when all edges are very sharp. It also looks very beautiful and accurate. And also sharp edges help us to paint miniature much more easy. Okay, I'm cutting it with my scalpel and fix it again and again, making the shape more and more accurate and precise. When I will be satisfied with this, I will bake it, and also after baking I will fix it finally one more time. I will finalize it with sandpaper. It provides us very beautiful, smooth and geometrical surface. I do it because I guess the armor parts should look very strong, very sharp and solid, like an armor, like an iron, not like a piece of clay that usually I have used. You understand that making miniatures, it's some kind of making illusions. Okay, let's take another piece of clay and start making a mask. This is more or less complicated for me because this mask should be symmetrical. It's instead of face, and it will be a lot of attention to this part of miniature, so it should be made more or less perfect. But from another side, this mask has very soft and very smooth shape. It has almost a shape of the drop. So keeping symmetry is just a question of my own skills. So something like this. And after baking, I usually fix the edges with the knife to make it extremely sharp and straight. As you can see, at this moment, the mask is blind and mouthless. It's because I want to make it with a knife. But before I will cut it with knife, I should make some marks with a pencil to make it maximum accurate. The clay I use called Fimo, and after baking it's not fragile, it's more or less plastic, and cutting it with knife is such a delight. It's very good for cutting. So I'm carving that, I don't know how it correctly calls, that observation holes in the mask, and I guess they're too small to sculpt something inside it. I mean eyes, I will not make it, and on final miniature, when I will paint it, I just will fill these holes with black color. So I'm working with my scalpel very carefully, trying to keep the rectangular shape and sharp straight edges of that holes. Okay, very good. And now it's time to make another metal ribbon. I mean that vertical, the vertical one that will protect his nose. I do it my usual way, using my knife, and it brings to our helmet that strange and weird view that I sure scared the enemies a lot 800 years ago. So step by step, layer by layer, we are making our helmet, and it's the reason why I like that clay that are not self-hardening but is for baking, because it allows me to bake literally each small detail whenever I want. I don't need to wait while one or another part will be hardened. Now let's make that ventilation holes in the mask, holes for breathing. I will use the drill for this task, but I will keep it. I hold it in my fingers because it should be made. It should be made very very accurate and very carefully. And I just afraid to mount the drill into my machine. So I guess this one is a little bit too big, and I change it to the smaller one. Here I guess I have made some mistake, and one hole is made on the wrong place. But it's very easy to fix. I just fill it with the clay, then bake, and then drill it again, this time on the correct place. Okay, the helmet completed. I also have added some rivets on it. I guess if our knight is in a good health, his head should be located on his neck. So let's mount it on the correct place. For mounting head on shoulders, I will use just a small piece of fresh clay.
and it's enough. In this small scale, it will hold our head successfully enough. But for bigger scale, bigger parts of miniature, I usually use a piece of wire inside the neck. And also it's soft enough, and it provides me a very good opportunity to find the position, the only one correct position of the head that I should find. Okay, it was baked, and now I want to cover the neck with the chainmail. First I make a fresh piece of the clay and make a general volume, general shapes of the neck. And only after this, when it will be perfect, I will smoothify it and cover it with a chainmail texture. When I make miniatures, when I make any sculpture, I always go from general shape to details, not reverse direction. So it's more or less completed, and now I want to smoothify the surface with my brush and olive oil, and then I will start making the texture by itself. For making a chainmail texture, I use my special tool that I have made of the needle from syringe. I have cut out the end of the needle and then grind it to make it C-shaped. Now it has a shape of a letter C. And now I use it like some kind of clone stamp, making rows of the chainmail. Each row has a reverse direction with the previous one. So this way I'm going to cover, to fill all surface of my future chainmail. Okay, now it's time to make the clothes, that kind of dress I have told about in the start of this video. And the most important thing for me of this dress is the edges, because the edges are hanging in space or flying in the air, and they're not lying on any kind of base. So if I want to make it very beautiful and accurate, first I should provide this base. So I make some kind of very thin layer of the clay, then cut it out, mount these details on the body, and trying to find that only one correct position of these edges that should look very good. I fix it again and again. Also I should control the length of this dress, and I cut it with my knife again and again till I will find only one perfect shape. Actually, making this part of the dress, I'm interested only in edges. Other part of volume of this dress should be removed now, because I will sculpt it later. So something like this. The position of the figure is not so dynamical, it's not kind of running or jumping, so I guess these clothes will not fly away, and this position of the edges is more or less reliable. Now I'm going to bake it, and then sculpting the textile by itself on this base will be very quiet and delightful. Also, I tried to cover the surface with some kind of notches. It will provide me a much better connection between the baked base and a new layer of fresh clay. Okay, now our base is firm, and I can start adding basic volumes of clay for sculpting our future creases. Okay, but now I want to reduce a little bit this volume of the clay, because otherwise I'm afraid it can be a little bit thick in future. Now I want to sculpt the upper part of the body of this surcoat, the chest, the torso, and also with the belt. These 12th century knights have a big enough clear surfaces of the clothes, and it's very interesting for us actually, because it provides us good opportunities to paint it different ways. We can paint it in local colors with some creases, and also we can make put some heraldry on this textile, to put some beautiful, interesting freehand pictures. What's about me by myself? I'm very lazy painter, and when I will paint these miniatures, I will use some decals. I want to decorate their shields with some kind of weird pictures based on that images from fields of old manuscripts that called marginalia. I'm sure you have already seen it. There was different weird creatures and funny animals doing strange things. It's actually very funny. And based on this, I have painted some pictures using vector graphic using Adobe Illustrator, and I have ordered printing decals. By the way, I also have ordered some very common decals with a collection of classic Crusaders crosses that can be located on shields on the clothes of these knights. And the decals already are available in our web store. You can check the link below this video. Now I'm sculpting the belt, as you can see, and the most important thing in the belt, by my opinion, is sharp edges and of course a smooth surface. Because the belt is not so soft like textile around it, and it should be visible. Now I can repeat that sculpting is some kind of making illusion, and using the same clay I should make the illusion of different materials, like leather of the belt and textile of the clothes. And also that sharp edges provides us much more easy painting of this detail. Okay, now let's jump to the lower part of the dress, to this skirt, and I add basic volumes, and as you can see now our knight finally got that more or less correct proportions and thickness, because before he looked a little bit skinny. Now I put a basic volume of the clay and make a general shape, and then I will start to form separated creases. For sculpting a reliable looking miniature, it's very important to understand how creases appear. For example, in this case, our clothes is pressed with belt very tightly. So it's a reason why almost all creases are starting from under the belt. And another interesting thing, this guy will have not only one belt, but also a sword belt that will be located lower than the basic belt. And now I am forming the creases of this skirt, taking into account this fact. So as you can see, I should provide some space for this future sword belt too. And of course it's not so straight like a basic belt, because the sword is hanging only on one side of the sword belt, so this position will be a little bit aslant. Okay, now let's make first the biggest creases, the basic ones, and then I will jump to the smaller ones. And also pay attention how easy and pleasant is sculpting when we have a firm base inside. Maybe sculpting textile looks not so impressive like some details or anatomy, but it's very important. Good sculpted textile sets any miniature alive, because correctly made creases accentuate any movement of the character. And I have seen a lot enough miniatures that was not bad, but was absolutely spoiled with badly sculpted textiles. Okay, now let's add a lot of small creases under this belt, and also increase that big groove for the future sword belt. Okay, the final and very important stage is smoothifying the surface. I guess you will agree with me that it's such a torment to paint a surface that it's raw. So let's take our special paintbrush, put it into olive oil and smoothify the surface very gently. The point of this trick is that the olive oil and also I guess sunflower oil dissolves the fimo slowly, and as a result it provides us that very beautiful, gentle and smooth surface. Okay, now it's time to make some small details. As we remember that 12th century guys was not decorated so rich, but anyway, some small parts should be sculpted. And of course, first of them is that belt buckle. By the way, it's interesting for me, is this word buckle related to the buckler? I mean that fist shield, small fist shield of 15th century. Okay, after baking, as usual, I cut out this edge a little bit, about a half millimeter, to make it extremely sharp and beautiful. The inner part of this skirt is important enough too. It's not so visible. I plan to paint it in some dark color, but anyway I think it's a good idea to make it smooth enough too. Now I'm going to complete the spur, and it's very important too, because the spurs together with the expensive helmet are signs of the fact that it's a knight. It's a noble one. Now he's fighting on foot, but I guess he arrived to the place of the battle on the horseback. By the way, about horses, actually I like horses a lot. They look very graceful and mighty at the same time. But sculpting horses, it's more or less complicated. It takes a lot of time from me. And at this moment, actually, I have only one horse in my collection. You can find it in our web store, of course, but in future I plan to make more. I think the next one I will sculpt will be a mounted figure of Emperor Friedrich Barbarossa. And I think this person could be a very good addition to the line of 12th century knights. Okay, now it's time for most interesting part of making any sculpture. It's time for fixing mistakes. Point is that I was so inattentive that I have forget to make the back cut on this Surcoat. And actually it is very stupid from my side, because both these cuts are very important, because they provide the knight the opportunity to riding on the horse back. They help him to spread his legs and sit on the horse. So now it's time to resculpt it a little. Because this cut is not so wide, I guess I will fill it with clay and don't make it see-through. I guess it will be enough to paint it with dark color. Guess you understand that it's not enough just cut out a piece of this skirt, because the creases of these clothes, taking into account that cut, will look a little bit different. So now I should sculpt it a new way. In this moment is very important for me to make invisible that transition between a new fresh layer of the clay and old baked one, because any kind of transition will be visible on the casting and can spoil our paint job in future. Okay, as usual, let's smoothify it and bake. Okay, now it's time to sculpt that sword belt. As we remember, we already have before prepared a groove for this, so it should be easy enough. As I saw on that pictures from medieval books, this sword belt has another interesting construction. It hasn't any buckle, but it has both ends cutted, and it was joined and they joined into the knot. That medieval artists painted it very detailed and clear, so it's very easy for us to sculpt it historically accurate. Now I'm going to make only the shape of this belt and that slit that depicts cutted ends. I will add the knot later after baking this belt. It's much more comfortable for me. Okay, here I will place that knot with two hanging tails. As other details I'm sculpting, these tails should have very sharp edges. It helps us to paint it very accurate, because you understand that these tails have a different color with the textile they are lying on. And of course, any hanging tails are very beautiful by itself, because they always have their own small dynamics and physics too. I always try to pay a lot of attention to small details like this, because it brings a life to the miniature. Now let's finalize the loop of the knot with the needle, and I guess at this stage our body is almost completed. And now I want to make some technical thing. I should prepare his sides, his shoulders, for future mounting of arms. And I need to make some kind of socket for this. It's very easy to do using my drill machine. Okay guys, I guess it's all for this time. In our next video we will make some details, sword, shield and scabbard, and finalize our miniature.
Thank you for watching. If you like it, please subscribe to our channel and to our newsletter to don't skip all new videos and, of course, releases of new miniatures and special offers that we provide only for our subscribers. Thank you and see you next week.